Hello darlings. Look, I thought I would pop in here because I had intended for this video to be one thing and I ended up just prattling away and having a little chit chat with you and sort of kind of encouraging, and so I hope that you enjoy the video. All right, cheers darlings. Hello darlings, how are you? Welcome to the curious mind of Raquel Carter. I am your favorite mermaid mystic. So I don't know why I want to laugh every time I say that, but let me preface something right straight away, love. Darlings, if you hear something like this crunchy sound, like I've got my old kitchen clock, my Victorian kitchen clock going, but if you can't hear that and you can hear crunchy, 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 it's the kittens. I always call them the kittens, although they're probably considered cats now. I don't like cats. I like the word kittens. It sounds so charming and sweet and cuddly and cute. So the kittens, the two, you know, Constantine and Pizza, are having the little kibble. So if you hear that in the background, I didn't want to edit it or wait until they're done munching away. So having their supper. So anyway, so today's video is going to be, I don't know why I've got giggles. I feel like quite a giggle mug. So today's video is going to be talking about the process. This is the second video in a row, loves. Can you tell I've got the same clothes on? Well, I do wear the same clothes almost every single day. Did I tell you that I'm making my dress that, if you follow me, you should follow me on Instagram, okay? Because I'm always putting lovely little bits and bobs on there about what I'm doing every day, and that's where I'm normally always at if I'm not on the blog or shooting video, okay? So go follow me. It's Raquel Margaret Carter. It's in the caption, in the description box below. Don't you love that when they always tell you that? It's in the description box below. But no, I do. I love it. I love my favorite channels. Anyway, I hope they become one of your favorite channels. So what I wanted to prattle on about today is on the aesthetic and on the conversation of cottage core. You know, I think I've told you this before, but I was cast for the Hello Sunshine. It's Reese Witherspoon production, the production company Hello Sunshine. I was cast for Cottage to the Core. So my name will be Cottage Core the Mermaid, Cottage Core Mermaid. And I wanted to be Victorian, Cottage Core Victorian Mermaid, but no can do. It was Cottage Core Mermaid. So, but anyway, so I wanted to chat about living the cottagecore life, and although it's completely different than like the made-up version of like reality TV, because that's not real, you understand, there's lights, camera, action, but I have implemented in the past, like I've said before in the last video, I have implemented the cottagecore lifestyle. Basically what I did was I nicked Tasha Tudor. I nicked off Tasha Tudor's life and just really, you know, and I've gotten many downloads, and like I said, I'm psychic, so I oftentimes, you know, talk to the dead. I probably talk to the dead more than I talk to the live people, honestly. But something that was so weird and absolutely strange and barbaric when I was a little girl, considering that you would think that I was like, you know, I'd gone mad. I now understand that they are gifts of mine that I just squelched, and through, you know, religion and all of that, being told that I was a bit mad and crazy, which I wasn't. I was just very highly spiritual and very psychic, that I'm now honing those gifts. So anyway, long story short, listen, I love to prattle. If you want a good little chin wag on a morning you're pouring your tea and you're, you know, looking over your bits and things in the morning, then I'm your lass, okay? So you can just turn the TV on, turn your mobile on, or your little YouTube channel, however you're getting it, and you can you know, let's have a chit chat, okay? So, but anyway, yeah, so I've been honing those gifts, and one of those things is being also able to get downloads, but also being able to hear telepathically animals, and also heightening my awareness of my spiritual gifts which I've been blessed with, and that's also listening and talking to the dead. So yeah, I do love to talk to Tasha Tudor and Beatrix Potter. I got to tell you, they're my favorite two people that I love chat with. So I basically nicked Tasha Tudor's life, and obviously, you know, I'm still doing it Razzie way, but I really loved and Beatrix Potter way because I love all those aspects of those two women so dominantly. They just are so inspirational to me in my life, always have been. I think I knew of Tasha Tudor when I was probably 14 years old. I got Victorian magazine. I've talked about this on my blog before, but I got a Victorian magazine, and Tasha Tudor was in that. They did a whole, and they did it many times, several times, maybe 5 times. If anyone knows, put it in the comments how many times she was on inside that magazine. And I want to say it was 4 or 5, but they did a whole entire spread of her in there. And I was around 14 years old when I first got that. Like my dear beloved cousin gave me a subscription for my birthday. And I've always been the artsy girl, you know. House Beautiful was one of my favorite magazines, not like a Teen Beat. No, I was a House Beautiful, a Victoria, you know, all of that kind of thing. So yeah, that's when I first learned of Tasha. And Beatrix, I've known her. Look, listen, I talk like I've known her, you know. Well, you know, the Moors, which is so interesting, but the Moors, which was her governess, Beatrix Potter, I'm talking about Beatrix Potter now, but her governess was Annie Moore. But Annie's maiden name before she got married was Carter, same as mine. And I've been doing loads of research on her. I'm thinking, I know I'm pretty sure that she's comes from German descent, but if anyone knows, like, once again, put it in the comments. But because I used to be Mormon, I wanted to do her ancestry, because I was like, was I related to Annie Moore, which was the governess of Beatrix Potter, which I think I was. And so I've been trying to look into that more so. But understandably, I did find out through family and through my ancestry that I know I'm going off on a tangent, but I'll get back to it in just a moment, okay? But, and then the other thing that was really neat was the archaeologist, the bloke that really loved the things for the Downton Abbey, and the Highclere, which they have a picture of one of my relatives in there. And that would be fun to go there one day to the Highclere Castle and see my relative there, because I've got him in all my ancestry. So I have like the plates and stuff hanging on our walls and everything, so which I thought is very neat. So he loved all of that sort of, you know, the tombs and all of that sort of thing. So I think that's really fabulous. But anyway, really quite brilliant. So what I wanted to talk about was the process of the cottage core lifestyle. And if you want to, now listen, you might want to click off this if you're like, no, I like aspects of it, my channel's all about it, but I don't really care enough about it. You know, you hashtag it and that's about it. But I, like I said, nicked Tasha Tudor and her lifestyle, and I wanted to become like that. I wanted to have and live old-fashioned like that. Now, understandably, I cherry pick bit of things, you know, like let's be serious here. But Tasha also did, you know, Tasha, you know, if you were to go to Tasha's house, Corgi Cottage, you would see that she did have a modern, you know, kitchen. She had a summer kitchen. She had a summer kitchen, and so she had a refrigerator and she had a stove, and it was a normal, you know, looks like 70s, from the 70s and stuff. But the pictures did not portray that. But we all are sort of, in a way, cherry picking it to a degree, you know. But then you can also say, well, in the Victorian era, Raquel, electricity was invented, so I'm technically doing okay here. But I do like to do the old-fashioned things. Now, the reason I wanted to break this down is because I think that there's an illusion, which that is exactly what I'm trying to do. And is that not what they do on television? They create an illusion. It's like when you watch a movie, they're wanting to cause you to go into like almost a theta sleep, because they want to like transport you into this realm that is almost fairy tale. And this is why I've come up with that fairy tale life. You want to live a fairy tale life, but you really can live it. And it's just learning to tune into those aspects of what we were originally, which is I am, which is the God within you, which is your imagination, okay? Your I am is God. God is your wonderful human imagination. That is what God is. That is how everything is created, by your imagination. That is how we create. We are creators. We are creating everything in our lives. So if you want to look at your life and you want to understand, well, why is this happen and this happened for that person? We're creating it. Everything is an external creation of an internal belief. Okay, so how we assume the world to be, we're talking Daddy Neville stuff here. Everything that you assume to be is exactly the reality of your life. So if I believe everyone loves me when I wear this old-fashioned 1850s dress and I look like Tasha Tudor, and I go around town and I believe everyone's going to tell me, oh my God, you're like the next Beatrix Potter and Tasha Tudor rolled into one. Everyone tells me that. Everyone tells me that. Guess what's going to happen, loves? I create that because that's the assumption that I have of the external world. And so therefore it has to manipulate and come back to exactly the way that I'm assuming it to be. So everything is an external representation of an internal dialogue that you have going on internally. So if you wonder, well, why don't I have any money in my bank account? Well, guess what? You have an assumption that money is hard to come by. You can't have money. Maybe it's a belief when you grew up that, you know, only certain people have money, or everyone that has money are mean. Everyone that has money is evil. Everyone gets money, and if they have money, they get it by doing evil deeds. So that's your assumption. That's what you're creating. You are God. You create everything in your reality. I know you don't want to believe that. Some people have a really hard time swallowing that. I understand it. But you know what? I'm going to keep regurgitating it until you understand it, because that's true. I didn't want to believe it either. So just to know that if you're on the precipice of that thought, like, yeah, you're batshit crazy, you're absolutely mad, Raquel, I understand where you're coming from, loves, because I was there too. I thought people that would talk like I'm talking now, I was like, I got to pray for them. They're lost. They're going to hell. They're going to split hell wide open. Like when I was in religion, you know. Oh yeah, I was like, oh, they're going to outer darkness. Oh my God, poor things. She's just so, oh, that poor thing. Oh, what shall we do about it? I mean, oh my gosh, does the universe, does your higher being have a hilarious streak? Yes, absolutely. The universe is quite funny, because you know what? Everything that you deem like that, you have to live it. So all of those things that I used to say about people that were spiritual, I had to embrace those. I had to learn from those experiences, because I had to receive that on the karmic debt of that, the karmic aspect of that, because I would do that to women or to people that I thought were weird and everything. And so guess what happened? Because I thought it was weird, so I was projecting that outwards, right? So what happened? Everybody projected it back to me when I started to recognize and have my spiritual awakening. Because why? because I assumed that, and that was my karmic debt, is that I was judgmental to other people, so judgmental people had to be judgmental towards me. That's what happens. You know, in the scriptures, now listen, for you Christian friends of mine that have not come to the dark side yet of spirituality, you know I'm teasing you. You know I'm having a go with you, right? I always tease because you've got to bring levity and happiness and joy to it and not being so serious. This life is not really quite so serious, okay? Everyone's making such a big deal of it. And I know you're like, yeah, you're living in a lollipop land world with rainbows and cotton candy clouds and all that. Yeah, guess why? Because I assume that it's that way and it becomes that way. So I don't vibrate with the same frequency when you're seeing horror and disaster and all of that. Think about how God is. The frequency of a God is way up here in the purple, not in the red, way down there where hatred and deceit and deception and anger and all of that dwells, and all the calamities. So you've got to become enlightened so that you can vibrate at a different frequency than the normal everyday life. And guess what happens? When you start vibrating at that frequency, you don't see those things. They just don't appear in your life. Like, they just don't. You won't experience them either. I mean, you could live in a war zone, literally, and I'm not joking. And I can talk about this, okay? My son was brutally murdered by gunfire, okay? From someone that was absolutely barbaric and jealous and full of hatred. So yeah, I can talk about stuff like that, and I'm still going to bring levity to it. You know why? Because you cannot dwell in that state. If you dwell in that state, you will find that state for the rest of your life. And who wants to live in a state of misery? Who wants to live in a state of misery? A lot of times people are doing it. They just think, oh, I don't have any control of it. Yes, you do. Yes, you do, loves. Do not sit here and ever try to tell me that it's just, you just have to accept it. No, I didn't accept my son's death, and I revised it using Neville Goddard's technique of the revision. I didn't accept it. No, I didn't. I accepted what I wanted to accept. And you know, I accepted, he transitioned. Yeah, I'm not absolutely gone off, but he transitioned. That doesn't mean no one ever dies. You never die. You transition, yeah, from one state to another. But he just transitioned out of this mortal state, but he's still there. I talk to him all the time. And you can say, oh, well, that's absolutely nuts. That's absolutely maddening, Raquel. What are you doing? You're mad. No, I'm not. If you're a Christian and you're thinking I'm mad, or you're even a normal person and you're like, yeah, it's kind of weird. No, it's not. Because if you're 9 times out of 10 people are in America or wherever and you're religious, don't you talk to somebody that's called God or Jesus and you've never seen them? You've never seen them in the physical form, have you? But you're talking to them. Why is that so different than your family members? People that literally you've seen them, you birthed them. I birthed my son Sawyer. So I know my son Sawyer. And so I know him when I hear him and I'm getting a download or like, hey mommy, oh, he says some cracks up joke, something, you know, he's like, yeah, I croaked. Yeah, mom, I croaked. You, in order to be able to live a happy, joyful fairy tale life, because it's not an illusion, you can create your joyful life. It's all in how much you make of it. If you want to be depressed and you truly want to be depressed and you get off on it, because a lot of people, you're doing it for a reason. If you have a tale of woe, it is benefiting you in some way. Like, oh, these people always take advantage of me. Or, oh, I'm always sick. Or, oh, I'm always this. There's some payoff. You're getting some payoff for it. What's the payoff, love? And if I'm triggering you, I'm glad I'm doing it, because you know what? That's what makes people have emotion to change. And not everyone wants to do that because they don't want to step on toes and upset someone. Oh, I might hurt your poor little feelings. And you probably, and I don't want you to think that I'm like, you know, Teflon or anything, but I am like Teflon. Because you know what? I'm going to hold space for people that need it. This world is so full of people that are ego-driven and do not want to hold space for people in their in-between stage. You know, you're in betwixt things. And so I really want to be that voice of reason and help. That's why I have this channel. This is why I've had this channel for over a decade, is because I want to help women. I want to help women understand how powerful you are and how you can, it's literally just following, you know, kind of like a guideline of following your bliss, and you will find your true north. You will come back to yourself, that self that you know that's deep in there. Because there's a lot of women that have just blocked it off, that they feel like they've just, it's become habitual, you know, like, well, this is just how it is. No, on those aspects, I mean, and I've experienced it, so I know what it means to be in a marriage for 24 years and shut off all things that I ever knew about myself and that cute little sweet 12-year-old Raquel, little Razzie, that had all these dreams and ambitions, and how they just kind of get thwarted and people devalue you and make you feel like you can't achieve your dreams, and you can. I'm here to tell you that you can. I'm here to give you hope. I'm here to help you remember, to assist in helping you. You have to do the work, love, but I'm here to help you and assist you in advocating for you to find your true self, because it's there. And if you resonate with this, I hope you found benefit and derived benefit from this video. And so I sort of went on a little tangent, but who doesn't like a little tangent every once in a while, right? So as always, I'm most affably yours till my next swim. Remember, if you so feel, please like, subscribe and comment. It really helps the channel to grow. Alrighty, thank you, loves. Cheers, darlings. Toodle pip.